Okay, hi everyone, how are we doing? My name is James Welsh. I am the author of this book here, Corroborating Evidence, the UFO Investigation of the Millennium. This is to show everyone the overlap I have performed of NASA frame STS31 with one of the photos from Hubble's redeployment in 1990. Now, today's the 20th of May, and back in 2012, when I first realised the similarity of what was being seen in both images, I had no idea. There we go. I had no idea what it was that I was looking at in the STS-103 mission images, but as the years have went on, I've formed a better understanding of this craft, and last year I was able to go on and formally identify the spotlight which is located at the front of this craft, and was described by many eyewitnesses that month, observed by myself as well. So, like I say, when I first realised the similarity between this image here and the deployment image here from 1990, like I say, at the time I hadn't formed an understanding of the structured craft which appears in frame 73, and obviously could not bridge the connection. So the other day I accidentally came across this image again, and now obviously now that I know that this is a spotlight on the craft in frame 51, sorry, which is located at the front of the craft, which you can see in frame 73. I performed the overlap with the 1990 image, and this is me just running through the overlap to show that there is a match between this and the spacing between the beams of light that are coming out of this. So I'm pretty sure that I have now identified that there was something up there in orbit during Hubble's redeployment, never mind the redeployment. Now this one here from the STS-103 is not the sun. The sun isn't due up for another 7 or 8 minutes above the horizon. So we know that for a fact, and we know this thing only appeared for 2.5 minutes, and we also know about the spotlight and all that, so we know what this bright light source is. It is a spotlight, as I say, but I noticed there's a unique similarity between these two, and that is the spacing of the sharding on this light. And I noticed that when you fade, when you get to about here, you can see the similarities. Now I have been judging this on the 5 o'clock position shard, which I'm just about to line up just now, and from that everything else just falls into place. So it's just a case of getting the sizing correct, and then you'll notice that every single shard and all that comes off that all matches up. I'm slightly out. That's me now. I'm now lining that up there with that one under it, and that is the 2 shards taken care of there. So I am pretty convinced that I have now identified this as one of those craft, and there is that getting brought in. Now I know obviously there's a big similarity as in they're both very bright objects, but I now know that this is The one in the STS103 is definitely the structured craft with a spotlight on. So the question is, what about the one in STS31? So I think my copy's just a little big. I'll size it up against the other one. Just check the length of hubble against that. So yeah, I'd say they're a good fit. I think that's just a little short. Let me check the sizing of the what do you call it? Solar panels. So I'll bring the solar panels up just a bit shorter because that one's a bit longer. Bring that to there. And down a little bit. So that should be about that. Just a little wide. There. Perfect. Right, okay, and then we just literally slot that right in, and now if you look at, as I say, look at the gaps at the bottom of the bottom image there from Hubble's deployment in 1990. So at the very 6 o'clock position you've got a big gap, and then either side of that at the 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock positions you've got two big gaps, and then I slot this one down, and those shards, when lined up, just fall into place perfectly with the overlap of both images. So there we go. So that brought out and brought in. You can still see it. So taking it in, taking it out, and you can still see it as I bring it in and out. So I've matched all this up. And let me just, so let's just see that compared to that size wise. Yeah, I need to sort that out. Just bring it down a bit. So there we go. And there we go. Perfect. It's like when you keep your eye on certain gaps, and then when I fade them in and out there, that 5 o'clock gap just remains. So there we go. I can't emphasise that any more than I have. Bring it in just ever so slightly, in and out there. So there we go. As that comes in and out, you see that they remain. So that's I would say that's a match. But I'd like your opinions. So what do you think? Have I went totally start raving bonkers, or do you think that there is a relationship between these two objects taken on NASA photos 9 years apart, both during Hubble deployment photographs? So what do you think, guys? Do you think I am an absolute start raving lunatic, or do you think there's something in this? Do you think that I have found another connection to these craft and their involvement on this NASA mission image going back to 1990? So I'll leave that with you to contemplate, and as I say, I would love to hear your opinion and see what you think. No doubt I will be getting some trolling comments over this, but away and do the research first, please, people, and go back and check the STS-103 mission records, and you'll find out that that is not the Sun and the Hubble mission image from 1999. So I am posing the question as to what this is in the 1990 photo. So there you go, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, cheers.